What if your ability to dream, to imagine, to feel connected to something more than the five senses, came from a crystal buried deep within your brain? Not metaphorically, literally. There's a place inside your head that ancient traditions spoke of in hushed reverence. A gland, small, pine cone shaped, nestled in the center of your brain. The pineal gland. For thousands of years, mystics and sages have called it the third eye, the gateway to higher consciousness, the seat of the soul. But perhaps the most astonishing part? That may not just be symbolism, because when we look at the pineal gland through the lens of science, what we find is strange and full of meaning. Anatomically, the pineal gland is eerily similar to the eye. It contains retinal tissue, a lens-like structure, even a biological covering like a cornea. Why would something hidden inside your brain resemble an organ designed to perceive light? What is it meant to see? And it doesn't end there. In 2002, research by Dr. Grant Blackwell and others revealed that the pineal gland contains something even more mysterious. Tiny, hexagonal calcite microcrystals. Not random mineral deposits, not biological noise. These crystals exhibit a property known as piezoelectricity. That means, when they're subjected to movement or pressure, they generate an electric charge. Yes. There's a structure inside your brain that may be capable of interacting with electromagnetic fields. A crystalline receiver, a living antenna. What happens when you apply certain frequencies, subtle or strong, to such a system? Could your internal crystal matrix respond? Could your thoughts, feelings, dreams be modulated or influenced by frequencies in the environment? That's where the rabbit hole begins to deepen. Let's step back and ask, where else in the body do we find crystals? In your inner ear, specifically the otoliths, tiny calcite crystals that help you maintain balance and orientation. They're part of your vestibular system, giving you a sense of where you are in space. So, what if the pineal gland's crystals serve a similar purpose? But instead of orienting you in the physical world, they orient you in something else. A spiritual dimension, a vibrational direction, a resonance field that can't be measured in inches or miles. And this isn't just mystical poetry. In other words, the building blocks of life, floating through space, locked inside crystal structures. This is not myth, it's documented science. So the question becomes, are we really separate from the universe? Or are we resonant echoes of it? Every element inside your body is out there in the stars. The only thing missing is the spark, the animating force, the life. Because we can build bodies in labs. We can clone DNA. We can mimic structure. But without that mysterious energy, they remain still. So, what flips the switch? Energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed. So where did your energy come from? And where does it go? Maybe, just maybe, the pineal gland is part of that mystery. A receiver, a transmitter, a crystal temple inside your brain that translates vibration into vision and thought into awareness. Crystals don't activate themselves. They require motion, pressure, vibration. That's how your phone works. That's how your inner ear works. So maybe stillness, deep, conscious meditation, tunes your inner crystal. Or maybe it's the opposite. Breath work, chanting, drumming, dancing, shaking the system until it starts to hum. There's a reason rituals often begin with bells, with singing bowls, with the striking of quartz. It's not for decoration. It's for frequency. Because when you interact with crystals, when you wear them, move them, speak around them, you generate a subtle, measurable charge. Piezoelectricity. You become part of the circuit. That's why you can feel it. That warmth in your chest, the tingling in your hands, the rush behind your eyes. It's not imagination, it's resonance. Energy isn't always visible, but it's always there. When you move, when you speak, even when you think, you send ripples through the field. And perhaps these crystals, inside you and around you, are bridges between thought and matter, between the physical and the invisible, between your awareness and the infinite. Maybe that's why some say that consciousness itself is crystalline, not rigid, but precise, not chaotic, but ordered, a sacred geometry of perception, vibrating at just the right frequency to become aware of itself. You, the pineal gland, the crystal antenna, the all-seeing eye, not just metaphor, not just myth, but a mirror of the stars, buried deep in the temple of your mind. And maybe the universe is already listening.